What's up, mi gente? It's your boy Dwell, aka Mr. J, with another episode of Sideways. Sideways Podcast, Sideways TV, Sideways Radio, Sideways Música, whatever you want to call it. I always be coming at you sideways. Once again, it's your boy Dwell, aka Mr. J. All up in the mix, in the mezcla, causing damage, one way or another. That's just how I come at it. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Right now I got some time to talk a little bit. Talk about my opinions, my views. Hopefully I dropped 2 videos yesterday. One about music and one about politics. Just my views, my opinions. Not really what you might call it. Whatever. Pretty much my views and my opinions. I was talking to my boy from Stoop Down, always showing some love and some support. Gave me some ideas and brought up a good topic yesterday. You know, yesterday my video that I dropped was about, obviously, the Capitol, what's going on over there, the stimulus checks. But yesterday the date was the 18th, 1/18/2021, January 18th, 2021, which was MLK Day, Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is who I want to talk about. This is what I'm going to talk about because obviously, not just because of yesterday, not because yesterday was a holiday, but in reality, you know what? I took the day off because of that. You know what I mean? Usually, I'm a union carpenter also. I'm a GC also. Hit me up if you need a project done in your property, in your house, or if you know somebody that needs something done, hit me up. I'm a GC, but I also work for a union company. And usually that's not a union holiday for us, MLK. But it is a holiday, you know what I mean? Schools take it out. I think federal buildings take it off. And the school that we're working on is obviously in California, no hay clases. But that school's still active into where there's janitors or custodians. There's teachers coming in and out. People that are working that work in the school. So in reality, we're working inside. So en veces tienen que los custodians or whoever they are come in early in the morning, about 6:30, turn off the alarm, and open up all the doors that we need to do our work on. But obviously they get the day off, so they close the school down because they're not going to be there. But yeah, and why? Because of MLK Day. MLK is an important figure. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a very important figure to me in many ways, in many aspects. I don't really hardcore know all his history, but I know enough to understand what he did in this earth while he was living. I'm a guy of faith. I'm a guy of you know what I mean? The man upstairs. You could say, I'm not here to talk about religion, but you could say I was raised in the Catholic Christian views. You know what I mean? I'll just go as far as that. And I have read the Bible. You know what I mean? I have read the Bible. To me personally, Martin Luther King, I don't know. You could say, I know a lot. This world in modern times, we tend not to believe in stuff like that. But technically, he is modern times. Martin Luther King, what was it, in the 60s, 70s? The Civil Rights Movement. I mean, he was born a little bit earlier, obviously. But in the 60s, 70s is when, you know, we started hearing about him. I don't have the correct... let me see. Hold on. Give me just a minute. Give me just 1 minute. It says here, Martin Luther King died April 4th, 1968. Excuse the 70s part. I kind of thought he did the. That's when he did the speech. And the speech was given actually August 28, 1963. The I Have a Dream speech. If you guys haven't listened to that speech, go ahead and listen to it. Real strong stuff, man. Real strong stuff. But you know what I mean? My opinion on Martin Luther King goes way beyond what we're known of him, you know, what we see. Like I said, I was raised in the Catholic Christian views. A lot of Catholics believe in saints. You know what I mean? There's so many saints out there. You know what I mean? That are thrown in the mix when it comes to religion. Let me tell you one thing, man. I'll be honest. Like I said, I was raised in Catholic and Christian views. Same deal at the end of the day, sums up to one. But I'll be honest, not to offend nobody neither. I don't take all that saint stuff to an extreme. I believe they're saints. But as much as there is named out there, I don't know. You know, but I do believe there's some certain amount of saints that are considered saints. That I worship them? No. That I pray to them? No. That I respect what they did? Yes, obviously. Why? Because they were followers of God. They did what they had to do. In my opinion, like I said, I don't take it to that level, to that way of thinking. My respects if you do. I personally believe if there was a saint, a modern day saint is Martin Luther King. Just pay attention to what he did. Look it up on YouTube. Watch his clips. The movements he did. And at the end of the day, he died for it. You know what I mean? You hear him preaching. You hear him talking. You hear him singing about God at the end of the day. The only reason he's probably not canonized as saint, why? Because he's probably not a Catholic. You know what I mean? Catholics are the ones that are more saint driven. I'm not sure to an extreme. Like I said, I'm not too deep in the rules and the hardcore in the religion. I'm a faithful and I try to be spiritual. I'm not a perfect man, but I try to live and I try to learn from my mistakes. But you know, Martin Luther King did a lot for everybody, not just the black man. Obviously, you know what I mean? The black man has gone through a lot when it comes to, at least from what I'm taught in this country, too many years. You know what I mean? They've had it, all this stuff that they've been going through since since the beginning of this country. At least that's as far as I can go, because I don't really know the histories of other countries or Africa. I mean, Africa, they deal with their own things as one, at least as their own race. But when it comes to oppression regarding another race, I only know about a certain extent of what happened to them here. You know what I mean? And at the end, pretty much the civil rights movements in the 60s with him, Malcolm X, and many other names that in reality I probably don't know the name of, but I know there was a lot more, and my respects to them. And maybe not just black men, maybe there were some, to be honest, white men, Asian men, and some brown men. You know what I mean? I know for sure, being from California, there was brown men and women that were civil rights leaders, and they were in the civil rights movement, fighting for their cause. You know, I know that for a fact, like the Brown Berets and many others. You know what I mean? But Martin Luther King, obviously they were the more organized or the biggest, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me if I'm not speaking out of like a professional, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a historian to where I know the autobiography of Martin Luther King. But Martin Luther King is a name that I have learned to admire and respect, because not only what he did was for the black man, it transcended to all of us. All of us, because we're all in one way, form, or another, even to this day, but more in those times and before. It was more of an oppression, more of a hardcore racial thing, where you couldn't go inside a store because you were black or brown or of a different race. You know what I mean? Whites only. Imagine walking to a store now, to your neighborhood grocery store, and them saying no Mexicans, no browns allowed. You know what I mean? And then because they have the right to refuse service, if you pay attention to those signs, they have a right to refuse service. But imagine it were like that. No Mexicans, no blacks allowed. That's how it was back then. Only black restaurants or only Mexican restaurants. You know what I mean? It was pretty hardcore, and who knows what would happen if you were going to the wrong place. Thank God I wasn't born in those times. I've seen some hate here and there, but I haven't suffered like they suffered in those times and before. And Martin Luther King is one of them, obviously, but his game, the way he played it, not a game, obviously, but the way he put it out there, to me, was what you can call, in a way, sent from God. You know what I mean? Think about it. Who knows? You know, he's a Moses type fella. If you read the Bible, you probably understand what I mean, or if you've read the Bible, you know what I mean. But to me, he's a saint. If I were to canonize or say someone is a saint, I'd consider Martin Luther King a saint. That I believe he should become a saint, or he should be labeled as Saint Martin Luther King, I'd be up for it. And respeto to what he did. There's a lot of things that give it out to there. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, a lot of the prophets, at the end, everything they do to overcome, and that's just the way God has it for them. You know, that's his plan, because maybe, who knows, that's the only way humans can work. I'm not trying to get religious here. I'm just trying to show examples. You know what I mean? At the end, he did what he had to do and then passed away, and that was it. His memory lives on, just like the rest of the prophets in the Bible. Like I said, I admire and respect that man as a brown man. That I'm talking about raza, a Mexican. You know, because we as Mexicans need to know who he is too, know what he did, educate ourselves in that, because his movement and the movement that was going on in those times, that's why we have it good. To be honest, we have it good. Yeah, a lot of us, our family members, don't have papers, or we're here illegally, and we know we have a lot of friends. Like I said, my parents at one point didn't have papers. They weren't here legal. You know, I'm not saying they're not legal. I'm just saying at one point in time, many years ago. Just like many people here in this country are not here legal. Like your dad or your mom or your uncle or your brother. I'm not talking just because you're Mexican, because there is a lot of illegals that aren't Mexican or brown. You know, there is Asians that are here illegal. There is white people that are here illegal. There's black men that are here illegal, etc., etc. We just tend to see the brown man as an illegal. But because of Martin Luther King, he played a big role in the way we live today. Yeah, it's not a perfect world, but he made it better. He made it better. Regarding to my video that I made yesterday regarding the Capitol Hill, go check it out. It's under stimulus checks and Capitol Hill revolution, I think. Check it out. That's the type of guy we gotta look at when it comes to protesting. When it comes to protesting, check out what he did. Why? Because at the end, he's from the same group that we are from. You know what I mean? I doubt he was a Republican. Maybe he was. I don't know to that aspect. Maybe he was. But I doubt it. He was one of us. Middle class. He was a working citizen. You know what I mean? Just like us. And he did what he had to do. He educated himself. And at the end, to be honest, I think, he was God's messenger. So I just want to make this quick video in regards to Martin Luther King Day. All you people who don't know should know. You know what I mean? Probably there's young people who don't know who MLK is. We don't pay attention to him too much. I know there's times, in reality, sometimes I don't even pay attention to it. It's just another day. But in reality, I always think about that because, like I said, sometimes my family gets a little religious. And like I said, I'm not all about the saints to where como dice Chalino Sánchez, con mucho respeto, pero para mí esa es la neta. Como dice Chalino Sánchez en una canción, un santo vale un cero estando bien con Dios. Y así yo lo miro. Primeramente Dios. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get religious here or anything. I just pay my respects and saying if there is a saint that I need to recognize, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. May he rest in peace. May his legacy live on. And may we show some respect as a brown community, as a brown raza, as a black community, as Black Panthers, as brown berets, as a white community, as Asian communities, because everything he did, it was also for us. Listen to his speech, I Have a Dream, and many more other speeches that he did. It's not the only one. Much love, your boy Dwell, aka Mr. J, Sideways, and I'm out. Peace.